So we're going to be doing an installation on this 2016 F-150. This vehicle has a factory 4-inch screen in the dash, and it did not come with a rear view camera. So these are the components that we're going to need. This is the Nav TV forward Unicam kit 593. Comes with the interface. Also comes with a plug-and-play harness. This is what we're going to be installing first, and it's very important you do this step first to make sure that everything is functional before you go ahead and run the rear view camera. We have a factory fit rear view camera. This takes the place of the handle. It has a quick disconnect on it. It also has an extension cable. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to go ahead and install this first. We're going to verify that now once the unit's installed that the screen flips to an image. We're going to temporarily connect this camera at the front with the video signal and make sure that when we go in reverse we get an image from the camera. Then we'll proceed to install the backup camera. So in this particular vehicle, this is the factory Ford 4-inch. This is in the F-150 and a variety of Ford vehicles from about, in some cases, 14.5 on. So we want to make sure whenever we're working with plastic that we used soft pry tools here. Not that we're really going to be prying anything, it's just we don't want to mar surface. So these are available at your local auto supply store or interior shop. We're just going to use this here to kind of get underneath this mat. We're going to pick it up and we're going to remove this. Now what you're going to find is you're going to find two 7mm bolts here and here. We're going to remove those, and then this panel just lifts off. You can use your soft pry, kind of pick it up and go in underneath and pull right up. This right here may have a clip at the bottom here, or it may actually have a rain sensor or other sensor. Go ahead and there should be a retainer clip that you push down on and you can remove this. Once you have the upward cover pulled off, there's two other 7mm here and here on the top of this fascia. We're going to go ahead and remove those. All we're trying to do is access the back of the screen. You can actually get to it from here. We're just going to kind of pull this out for you to see a little bit. So you're going to pull gently forward on the panel to release the clips. Okay, you can turn, and what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and remove all of these clips at the back and set it aside because we need to get to the back of this monitor right here. Once you have the monitor removed, you've removed the 7mm bolts, this retainer clip is on the back of the monitor. We want to remove this. It's time to get the interface, and we're going to plug it in. So what we're going to do now is the female side of this is going to be attached to the original cable. Again, what you want, this is fully extended. You're going to push down and you'll see it kind of come back there. Go ahead and fully seat that there. Same thing with the aftermarket piece now is going to be installed. So again, you want to make sure that when you install it into the monitor, this is all the way down and extended. We're going to go ahead and plug it in here. Again, push in. You can see that clip kind of bounce back, and there we go. Now we're going to route these cables behind and upwards. That way the interface is accessible because you're going to have to access this for wiring later on. And at this point, you can go ahead and you can reassemble the 7mm screws. Okay. After the monitor is put back into place, you can go ahead and we can reconnect your panel below, and we can actually attach the two screws to the top here, making sure that your harness, you have the connection to the interface here and all your RCA and power connections up there. We want to make sure that that's still accessible. So we're going to go ahead now, since all those are installed, we're going to go ahead and place it in place, give it a firm push to seat it, and then you can reinstall the two screws at the top to secure the panel in place. Before we go ahead and run the rear view camera, we want to make sure that the interface is properly programming the radio. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just plug in the interface here. Make sure it's fully seated. Again, keeping everything above and above the once the dashboard. It's plugged in, what you want to do is you want to turn the car to ignition. Don't want to start it. You want to wait for the radio to fully boot. So the radio is fully booted now. Our interface is active. Now we're going to go ahead and test to see if this programmed the radio. So we're going to go ahead and put the car in reverse. When you see the sign saying review camera unavailable, that tells you that it has programmed it. This particular unit is video sensing, so until we actually have a video hooked up to it, it's not going to flip. Now in this case, we're only installing in this application a review camera. So the RCA that came with your extension plugs into the yellow RCA here. It's a female, it's only one way it can go, again, toward the module. You've extended your power and ground cables from the camera all the way up front. To power the camera, it's really simple. Power is going to come right from the interface. It's going to be output 1. Where is it? Here we go. So here's output 1, which is a white with a red. That's going to go to the red of the camera. Now before you make this connection, what you're going to do is on the main harness, you're going to identify the only black wire, okay? You're going to go ahead and attach the ground from the camera to that black wire. Again, the power to the white with red. Do the ground first, it's good practice, then the red. You'll see, review camera is now active and on the screen. You switch back to park, it goes right back to the factory image. Again, reverse, back to park, right back to the factory image, exactly like stock. So now that we've installed the rear camera and the interface, there's usually an area right down here in the vents. We want to use some double-sided tape or some Velcro here. We're going to apply it to the back of the interface and we're going to put it inside the vent here, right on the top. It's a really good spot. It's accessible if you ever need it, and it's not going to rattle around. No one likes things rattling in their dash, so make sure that you're mounting this thing with a double-sided tape or a Velcro. So once everything is in place and you've installed it and secured down, you can go ahead now and reinstall the cover here. Again, put this in, push right down and secure the clips. Install the 7mm here and here, and then reinstall your little cover after it. And that's it, that's the installation. Now it's time that, after we've installed the front module and made sure that the radio programmed properly, it's now time to install the review camera. The review camera comes in 2 parts. It comes with the first extension cable in here. The reason that this is here is many times people use these vehicles to tow a fifth wheel or other things. If you want to take the actual tailgate off, it's essentially you're able to disconnect it. So what's going to happen is once we install this, this is going to be installed onto the truck. This connection is made here, and you can also deinstall it. So this can come off and it'll come back. Now, in order to install this, you're going to need a 10mm socket, and you're going to need a Torx T25. We're first going to remove these 8 Torx bolts that hold on the back plastic. Now the Torx bolts are removed, you can just remove the plastic. There's no clips on this at all. That just comes right off. You'll see here that now this exposes a metal backing under this. This metal backing is going to come off, and you're going to be able to access the guts of what we're going to be taking off. So once you have the metal removed, you have your lock apparatus that's down here. This is not what you're going to actually be taking off. If you look right here, once the metal's been removed, you expose 2 holes. There's 2 10mm bolts that are right down in there. Though it has to be removed. So utilizing an extension and a 10mm socket, we're going to go ahead and remove these bolts. Now, you want to go ahead and pull slightly down and then out with this, and this will be removed. We're going to go ahead and reinstall this in the back order. Assembly is exactly the opposite of disassembly. After the installation, it's really important that you check the functionality of the vehicle. You'll see that the fit and finish here are really, really good. Our camera's got a good view, and the tailgate's functioning. Now, one of the things with these newer Ford trucks is they all come with a locking tailgate. We're gonna go and just make sure that everything is working. You can see there, lock, unlock, everything's working properly. No one likes to redo things, so we like to check our work at every step of the way.